Well, hello, and welcome to my latest video, Strava. Yes, if you don't know Strava, well, you don't know Strava. But Strava is an app, and if you don't know Strava, just Google Strava. But the thing about it is, okay, it was started by two Swedish people. There was a bloke called Bob Strö, and then there was a bloke called Jimmy Arva, and they put their surnames together. And originally they came up with Bob Jimmy, but then they thought it just doesn't really work. So then they thought they had another idea. This was a brainwave. They were in some bar in Stockholm or something drinking vodka, and they said, why don't we take the last bits of our name and put them together? So then they came out with Arvastra. And somebody said, it doesn't work, boys. And then somebody, as a barmaid or something, said, look, why don't you just do Strava? So they said, okay, we'll do Strava. Anyway, now there's a few updates that are coming to Strava, and they've said, this is Bob and Jimmy, they said they want me to be the first person to tell you about these updates, because they've said, Julian, your YouTube channel, you've got millions of viewers. I don't know where they got that from, because it's simply not true. But they said you've got millions of viewers, so we want you to introduce these new elements to Strava. They're coming soon on the next update. So let's get into it. Now, the first one is Auto Kudos. Now, do you know when maybe you're sitting on the toilet, or you're lying in bed, you can't sleep, or it's early morning, you're lying there, you've got your phone, and you start giving kudos to all these people for the rides they've done. Now, the guys at Strava thought, well, you don't want to do all that tapping and giving kudos. So all you do is you enable, okay, Auto Kudos, right? It costs an extra $10 a month or $100 for a lifetime subscription. Anyway, you pay that. And all that happens is that you, without doing anything other than going on the Strava app, you give Strava kudos to every person who has done a ride in the last 24 hours. That's absolutely everybody on Strava. So you don't have to think about whether their ride is worthy of it. You don't have to go through, you did a good speed there, or you did good elevation there. All you do is you enable Auto Kudos, and there you are. Everybody gets kudos. Now, the next thing, right, is called Roundup. Now, you go out and you do a ride, and you think you've done 100 miles, but you've come back and it's only 97. Or you've done a commute and you think, you've told all your mates that you do a round trip, 10 miles each way, and it turns out it's only 4. Well, if you enable Auto Roundup, costs $10 a month or $100 for a lifetime subscription, it will round up to either the next 10 or the next 20 or the next 50 or the next 100 or the next 1,000 if you're somebody who's thinking of doing the transcontinental. So every ride you do is now rounded up to a sensible amount, and all those people who are looking at your ride saying, yeah, he's done a decent ride, and they don't know, you see, that you've got Roundup enabled. Now, the next thing they've introduced is called, hang on, just getting the cue cards ready here. It's called Bike Swap. Okay. Now, when you do a ride on Strava and you put on the bike that you did it on. Now, you might be somebody who can only afford like 7 bikes or something, and they're not really good bikes. You've got a Decathlon bike, you've got a Halford's bike, you've got a Boardman, something like that, you've got a Pinarello, and you just think, I want to have a decent bike. Why can't I have a Trek or a Giant or an S-Works even, or Dolnago, a decent bike? Well, what Bike Swap does, $10 a month, $100 for a lifetime subscription, it enables you to choose from a range of bikes, and everybody would look out there, God, he's got Colnago, he's got Pegoretti, he's got a Standard, he's got a decent bike. So enable Bike Swap, guys and girls, you want to. Now, the next thing is what they're calling StravaGram. Okay, now you do your ride, and maybe you take a picture out on your ride. You've propped up your bike against the wall, or you've been to the coffee stop and you've got a picture of your Danish, something like that. Well, after a while, let's face it, those pictures, they just get boring. So if you enable StravaGram, right, $10 a month, $100 lifetime subscription, you enable StravaGram, what it will do is enable you to pick from a choice of photos a photo to add to your ride. So let's say you live on Lewisham, South London, something like that. There's nothing interesting in Lewisham. You can take a picture of to add to your ride. But what if you could have the Taj Mahal? Okay. What if you could add, I don't know, a junk going down the Mekong Delta? What if you could add, I don't know, you're standing at Machu Picchu, you know, looking at the pyramids. What if you could add that and superimpose your bike on it? Well, if you enable StravaGram, you can do that. You can pick from a range of options, and there you are. You've got the ideal photo to add to your Strava performance. Now, the next one is called Autofollow. All right. Now, you've followed pros on Strava, and let's face it, they don't know who you are. They don't give a toss. You're just some guy in Lewisham who does a few bike rides. They're not going to follow you. But you want followers. You want people to give you auto kudos. You want your rides to be recognised in, I don't know, Rio de Janeiro, the Philippines, or Tasmania, or somewhere like that. Well, if you enable auto follow, okay, $10 a month, $100, lifetime subscription, you can choose from a range of options. So let's say I want the top 100 ranked UCI men's and women's riders who are on Strava to follow me. Well, if you enable auto follow, they will, whether they want to or not, follow you. Or you might say, I want every cycling club in South London, I want all of the members to follow me and see my rides when I go out into Kent or whatever. Enable auto follow and they will do that. Or you might say to yourself, I want people who ride decent bikes. I want people who ride a Pegaretti. I want them to follow me. Enable that on Strava auto follow, and those people will follow you. Now, the last thing they've introduced, and I think this is the best, a little bit more expensive, $25 a month, or $1,000 for a lifetime subscription, but I think it's worth every penny. And that's what they're calling StraArt. Now, you will have seen there are some people on Strava who do a ride and they create a picture, okay? They decided to create, I don't know, a Santa Claus or a reindeer or an elephant or a Banksy or something like that. And they've gone around all the roads, and when they upload it to Strava, they've got an amazing picture. And you think, well, why can't I do that? You know, why haven't I got a little bit of skill? Why haven't I got a talent? Why can't I do something clever like that? Why am I just some guy who lives in Lewisham, does a few rides every now and again? Well, if you enable StraArt, you can, and you don't even have to do the ride. This is the amazing thing. You just do your normal ride, you know, your commute up to town or 10 miles out to the countryside or whatever it is. You enable Strava and it will turn your ride into a picture. Now, some of the options they've got are pretty amazing. You've got Leonardo da Vinci Code's The Last Supper. Okay, they've got Géricault's The Raft of the Medusa, one of the great famous paintings of all time. They've got Monet's Water Lilies. I mean, that looks absolutely stunning on Strava. They've got my all-time favourite, which is Picasso's Guernica, you know, that town that was bombed during the Spanish Civil War. I mean, you do a boxy little 10 ride out into Kent, you enable Strava, and there you are. You've got a representation of Guernica overlaid. Well, it's right there on your map, and everybody's going to say, all your auto followers and so forth, they're going to say, Julian, what an amazing rider. You can do Picasso's Guernica in Strava. And then the other one, this is a really clever one. Tracy Emin's Unmade Bed. Did you remember that amazing piece of contemporary art? The bed of every man she's ever slept with, right? And the panties and condoms and all kinds of shit lying around. You can enable that on Strava, and the next time you do a ride, you might have to do a slightly longer ride because there's quite a lot of people on this Unmade Bed, but you do a longer ride, and there you are, Strava, and everybody's going to say, look at that guy, he can do Tracy Emin's Unmade Bed through the streets of South London, and that's all because, and they're not going to know this because they haven't paid for it, they haven't done the upgrade yet, so they haven't got it, but you've got it, you've got StraArt. So we have Bob Struh and we have Jimmy's Alva to thank, because they are the guys who started Strava, who are introducing these special upgrades. It happens with the next update. You've only got to pay those one-off subscriptions. I think they're pretty good value. I've got them downloaded myself. I'm the first person who's going to use them throughout the whole world. So I hope you'll follow my videos because you're going to see them coming soon to a ride near you. And I'd like to thank you for watching my channel, watching my videos. You can give me a thumbs up. You can leave a comment down below if you've got anything to say about my videos or anything thought about anything in the whole world. Leave a comment. I won't even bother to read it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.